Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of the Will It Run series on my 1951 Gravely Model L garden tractor. As you recall, episode 3, we addressed the fuel system, put a new old stock fuel tank on just temporarily, cleaned out the carburetor, got quite the pleasant surprise when I opened that up and found out it was literally full of motor oil, and ran a new fuel line. Thought we were going to get this thing to run, and I did very briefly. And then it just shut off like it lost spark. So I'm thinking I need to tear into the Magneto today. Off camera, I swapped out the old spark plug. I put a brand new auto light in there. This was the plug that I was using, and I was getting spark out of it, but it's pretty old. I did test out a different spark plug wire, and it just didn't even want to fire up on carb cleaner. It popped once or twice, but that was about it. So today I'm going to pull that Magneto back off. We're going to go back downstairs into the shop, and we're going to have a look and see what we can figure out. Just a real simple tip: when you go to pull one of these Magnetos off, turn the engine over until these little lines are lined up. That'll be top dead center on the compression stroke. Then when you take the Magneto off, you can put it right back on with those marks lined up, and you don't have to worry about it being 180 degrees out of time. And I'm downstairs in the basement, and you see I've got a pair of Wyco Magnetos on the bench. The one on the left, this one here, is off the 1951. The one on the right, it came off of, I don't know, some parts machine I picked up at some point in time. And I remember last year when I put the Magneto on the right away, when I boxed it up and put it in storage, I'd cleaned and set the points, and it seemed to be working okay. I just brought both of these out because I kind of want to compare the two using that spark tester you see in the lower right hand corner. I just want to check the strength of the spark between these two Magnetos and see if there's any difference. So let's go ahead and see what we've got. We've got the Magneto for the 51 sitting in the vise, and I've got my little adjustable spark tester handy. Again, the thing I really like about these is you could turn that knob on the right and it'll open and close the gap that you're seeing inside the window, so you can get an idea of how strong or weak your spark is. Just because you can hook a plug wire up and lay a spark plug across the Magneto and get spark doesn't mean that it's throwing a hot enough spark to fire that spark plug under compression. So that's one of the advantages of this type of a spark tester. So I've tried in the past to video the spark inside of these things when I test Magnetos, and my iPhone's not really good about picking that up. It always ends up looking pretty bad. So I'm just going to leave it how it is, and I'll kind of let you know what's going on. So I've got this set at a pretty decent gap. A nice hot Magneto should fire right across there. So let's see how this works at impulse. And looks like we got good spark at impulse. So let's take a 3/4 inch socket and a cordless drill and spin this. I want to spin it all the way at high speed on my drill, and then back it down to just above impulse and see if we're still getting spark. Absolutely nothing. Nothing at high speed, nothing just above impulse. Let's close this gap up one full turn, and we'll check that again. And just a tip, if you're going to do this, back this up just past where the impulse fires. If you try to get a drill going and it runs into the impulse, it's not going to be real pleasant. I got one little random spark. Let's turn it in another full turn and test it again. Getting spark probably 99% of the time. It looked like it was missing a spark here or there. Not really impressed with that. So let's take this backup Magneto, throw it in the vise, and let's see what we've got with that. Now I had turned this spark tester in 2 full turns from where I started. So let's back it out 2 full turns, and I'm going to start with the same gap across this tester that I had with the 51 Magneto. Let's check it at impulse. Good spark. And let's check it with the power drill. That is good consistent spark all the way through. High speed and just above the impulse. Just for grins, I want to back this out another full turn and see if we get the same thing. I would be impressed with that. I'm still getting great spark. So clearly this Magneto, this backup one I've got, is a lot hotter than the Magneto that's out of the 51. Maybe something I can address with this later, but let's go ahead and throw this backup Magneto in the tractor and see if it's going to start. We're outside. The new Magneto's on. Let's see if it's going to run. Well, it looks like it was the Magneto after all. Once we got that addressed, one pull, tractor fired right up, and it's running pretty well. Yeah, it needs a little bit of an adjustment here and there, but I'm not complaining. Burned a little bit of oil at the start. I'm pretty sure that was just the oil that I had squirted down the cylinder at the beginning of this project. So once it got that out of its system, I really didn't see anything coming out of the exhaust until I went to shut it off. But I mean, again, it's a 1951. It's a 73-year-old machine, and I have no idea if that engine's ever been tore into. I fully expected this thing to burn a little bit of oil. What I didn't expect was it to run as well as it is. Now, you probably heard a little bit of grinding when I went to engage the PTO. That was actually the real mower. If you're familiar with these mowers, you know there's a bolt on the front that you can slide back and forth to change the direction so you can lap the blade in. I just didn't have it engaged all the way, so that was the noise that you heard. I fixed it. It's working fine. No problems there. So it looks like we finally got an answer to our question, will it run? Absolutely, and it's running really well. So that is going to wrap up this particular series. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you on another episode.